ourselves. What can we see? See, Paul goes through those first 6 verses and beyond, and he's trying to tell us about the first thing that we need to do is deal with us, because until we deal with us, then we can't do the other things that he talks about as the chapter goes on. Because when we get to about the 11th verse, he starts to talk about the role of the church and the positions in the church, and he starts to talk about the gifts and the responsibilities that come with Jesus. And he talks about the prophets and the apostles and the evangelists and the pastors and the teachers and all of that and all these responsibilities and what we're supposed to do with developing faith and all of that. How can we jump to developing faith in people when we are still broken and flawed? Could that be a challenge and a problem with the church right now? We want to talk about spiritual gifts. We want to talk about speaking in tongues. We want to talk about laying hands. We want to talk about all these things where the Spirit of God influences and impacts. But then we want to wonder why it doesn't last. Why does it not last? Because we're supposed to, when we have an encounter with the Spirit of God, it's supposed to set us ablaze to continue forth. It's not supposed to be a series of inconsistent encounters. That doesn't make sense. God is faithful, and he is consistent. So how are we having these broken encounters and random encounters with the Spirit of God all over the place in this random fashion? That doesn't make any sense when he is always the same. So then that puts into question, what are we doing? How are we looking at this? Paul does all this you stuff up top. He said, you got to get one with the Spirit. You got to get yourself together. You got to stay faithful. You got to lock in and be one with the peace of God. You have to be at peace in yourself before you can go and think you're going to contribute peace in a group setting. Wow. Dang, Paul, just step on our toes, would you? Come on, Paul, didn't nobody ask you to do that? Just stick to your dear brothers and sisters and encourage them. Keep the accountability out. See, this is how we move. Encourage, but don't hold me accountable. Talk theoretically and hypothetically and all the other ethicallys, but don't hold me accountable.